We have a packed agenda, so let's get the conversation started. I have Kevin Haley, Videology's chief scientist. I'm going to welcome him to the stage. Kevin's a true visionary in terms of how technology can and is facilitating converged advertising solutions across TV and video, and his talks are always a lot of fun too. Please welcome Kevin Haley. Thank you.
You really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Yeah.
Thanks, Scott. You know, I think I'm going to come down here. I think my daughter's 10 hours of TV a day probably helps balance us out up to that 5. I was supposed to come up here and say, you know, we had this vision, as Scott said, about how that the industry would begin to converge. Video and television, it would digitize, and it's going to change. And I think most of us in the room had and understood that vision. I think how we take advantage of that to do better advertising, that's where that alignment kind of ends. If you guys give in and let search, display, fraud-filled video technologies dictate how you go to market, I think you risk losing. If you embrace technology, if you embrace technology to take what's happening up here and to enhance how you currently go to market, how you all do your jobs, there's a great chance to win. And we can do this and we can win now. If we don't sort of change our ability to use the power of what's happening up here, Google, Facebook, Amazon, they're going to continue to take share from us each year. So when we walk out of this room, what I would hope is that it's not business as usual, that we go off and we create superior data-enabled plans that are going to deliver superior results for advertisers and that is going to be able to capitalize on what's going on up on this screen. Now, in this room, we have a lot of folks who own media and have to sell it, and then we have folks who represent or are advertising clients and have to buy it. And they really face the same problem. You have to go off and plan differently. We have to then go trade those plans and then execute those trades in ways that have never been done before. Now, and as you're doing that, there are really 2 important things to think about. You have to go off and create superior results for advertisers and then manage your investment in media to deliver those results. So 2 key things that are always the trade-offs. Better results will often cost more. More profit's going to deliver inferior results. When I look around and say, what are the technologies out there that enable you to do these things, to plan, trade, execute in the new world of data and addressability, and balance out the ability to deliver superior results for advertisers and manage your investment in media to do it, I don't see a whole lot of options. And in fact, I see current technologies are a barrier to your ability to do the jobs and go to the market the way you want to. They're trying to force you to change how you operate. By contrast, technology should enhance what you're doing. It should enable you to go to market how you want to, and it should enable you to do your jobs faster, smarter, and easier. So we set out to arm planners, sellers, buyers, and operational teams with the ability to leverage the digitization of video and television advertising and take the complexities that come with that and arm you with a new way to make your jobs easier. And why did we do that? Because it's all about results. We are singularly laser focused, as Scott said, on the ability to deliver results. And results come from what we see over and over again, the better use of data, better results. Better data, broader use of that data, deeper use of the data results in superior conclusions for advertisers. Now, there's a lot that happens in between the process of getting data to get down to the results. There's a lot of different people involved, a lot of processes, a lot of jobs, a lot of disconnected technology systems that don't speak to each other, a whole lot of different pieces of information that don't come together. And it's our job as a platform to pull that together and make sure that what happens in between the better data and the better results is made easier and something that is easier for you to do your jobs. There are really 3 components that go into making this process work. The first one is we have to make sure that we have all the various inputs and outputs that you guys use to operate your business all coming into one place, and so that everybody is able to connect and use these different pieces of the puzzle. Those pieces include various audience data. It includes verification, audit, insights, third-party supply, third-party demand. There's ad servers, there's workflow, there's billing systems, there's finance systems. The list goes on. And what's important is that we have made sure that we have as many of these as possible integrated into our platform, and we make it easy through APIs to add any additional ones that you may have. Secondly, I think it's second, there is a single perfect answer for each of your businesses that exists right now for how you should connect demand, supply, and data in order to execute for the next year. That answer exists. And do you guys know what it is? Are you able to use that to do your jobs? It's my job as chief scientist to try to put together, through mathematics, and arm you with that single sheet of music for which you all can do your jobs and work together and break down the silos that exist in all of your businesses. And now you have to pass work to one another that's not coordinated across everybody. And this may start to sound like, one thing to think, people often think that the programmatic world of technology is about putting pipes in place. It's about connecting supply and demand. And if you're kind of waiting and thinking that if we can just connect supply and demand and make them transact in an automatic way, you're going to be waiting for a long time for something to change. What we think is important is that you empower and bring the information to the folks that need it to get their jobs done. At this point, folks often ask and say, hey, Kevin, how can you guys support both sides, the buyers and the sellers? I would say, how can we not do that? And the reason I said, first, we brought up one point earlier in that you all have the job to make sure that you're delivering superior results for advertising clients, and you all have to manage a supply or media investment to do that. So you have to make sure any technology you use has both of those pieces of functionality in it. You cannot have separate systems managing demand and supply because the trade-offs go hand in hand. Second is that just putting the pipes in place is not enough. Folks will transact. Deals will happen. You guys will begin to work more together when you are armed with the information, I believe, to have the confidence to make deals happen. You don't buy a house. You don't buy a house or sell a car or buy a tube of toothpaste when both sides don't feel they got somewhere near the understanding that it's going to be a fair and beneficial trade for both individuals. And what I see go on for my product booth behind the scenes is that I think most of you folks are not armed with the information to confidently transact with each other in this new world of addressability and the use of data. So it's important. We cannot wait for that to happen. We want to make sure that everybody has the information they need to transact with this new set of data. So that brings me to the third component. We have to present these perfect answers to the users, because these are this perfect answer answers all the questions that all you might have as you're going off and doing your jobs. So if you're a planner at a broadcaster, MVPD, maybe a cable network, you're working on inventory, pricing, and packaging to figure out how you go to market this year using first-party, third-party data sets that were never possible before. Or maybe you're the buyer who has to take all these different plans, all these new audience opportunities, all these new KPIs and challenges, and pull them all together and go transact and make your buys across MVPDs, broadcasters, or cable networks. Do you have the tools to do that? Or maybe you're in the operations group and you simply have to, you're tired of playing whack-a-mole, where you go and you can fix one campaign and you negatively then impact 4 or 5 others. If you answered yes or have challenges in these kinds of questions, this is what we're really here and we want to help. Those are the kinds of, the answer that we can provide and arm you with in all your various groups. Those are the kinds of questions that we're here to help you answer. Okay, so, and we do this again because we believe it brings superior results. And so let's talk a little bit about what those results mean. The whole point of this results is not to go out and really focus on what we think are some of these new and sort of, I always get in trouble for using, but these new and easy to scale proxy metrics that are in the programmatic space. What we want to focus on is making sure that you're measuring and getting success against the more difficult, the real types of results that are about in-store sales, online sales, and building the value of brands and their brand health. Through the use of our platform, the integrations that we've done, the application of data, the unique use of math, we do better when the more difficult historically it is to achieve a certain KPI, the better our platform is. And so our challenge is to say, let's go measure real results and not dumb it down to some of those proxies that are in the middle. All right, so that brings me to, if you want to actually do this, this may sound like it's complex and a lot to it, but what's really great is it's actually very simple to get started. The way our clients generally work with us are either top-down or bottom-up. And when they come work with us, and what that really means, from a bottom-up has been historically, the majority of our clients have gone this way, where they've gone out and they've already made a whole lot of plans. Planning team's done their thing. Trades have taken place, and then there's a whole lot of commitments that are in place across traded deals, across advertiser objectives. And how do you take that and bring in data, bring in math, and deliver superior results against what already happened upstream? So it's not too late to get better results just because you're not starting up at the top. But more recently, what we have seen as the world of, as software and platforms have been able to claw their way out of the kind of programmatic workflow space and make them their ways into the mainstream operations of agencies and media companies, we've seen a lot more of our clients say, you know what, I want to start top down. I want to set the bar higher. I want to go and say the world is my oyster. How do I go take the new world of data and addressability and apply it to the planning process across all that I have to plan, arm my traders to make better trades, and then make the execution all that much easier. So you can start from either place. Jump in now with where you're at, jump in from the top and come top down. So to kind of wrap this up, as you think about heading into the new fronts or up fronts or the full fronts or whatever this is called, the time is now. The market is moving. And, it really starts today. And I really challenge all of us in the room to make sure that we're coming out to market with new data-enabled, superior performing opportunities for our clients, and it's going to result in better business for all of us and help us maintain market share. And we are here to help. Thanks.